I probably have an eating disorder. Well, scratch that. I do. And it took me like 20 years to realize it because it's not related to my weight. Hello, my name is Wakasa, and today we'll be discussing my bad eating habits, a bit of brain chemistry, and some symbolic studies to tie it all together. But first, a word from our sponsor. Me. I sell crochet items here in Arlington, Texas at Bowman Spring Park every Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The time has changed. It used to be from 6 to 7, but then we had the fall back. And now the time is now from 4:30 to 5:30. Yeah. And I used to have an online shop, but it's currently down, but it will be back up in January. So if you don't live in the area and you would love to buy one of my hats, bolo ties, or little trinkets that I'm currently workshopping, here's one of the items that I do have. This one is made to order right now, though. This is a bolo tie. And I have these in hearts and stars, and those are 15, and this one is 25. Then I have hats that are from 25 to 50, and then I do custom orders. Yeah. But also, before we really begin, I would like to do a trigger warning. I will be discussing ED, and though I don't know, I'm lucky enough that I don't have a bad relationship with my body, so I really don't know what could set someone off for real personally, but I just want to be careful to mention that I will be talking about my own body, and it is my body and it's my own mentality, and you might see some reflections of yourself in it. I would say talk to your doctor, talk to your psychiatrist. If you're like hearing something, you're like, maybe this could be an option. Let me explore this. Because I do a lot of introspection by myself, but I do also think I should probably bring this up with my doctor as well. But yeah, trigger warning, I will be discussing my body and my eating habits. So what is my eating disorder? I actually don't know because I'm undiagnosed. But I do have a couple of theories. So 2 semesters ago, I took a health class and I had to write 2 essays. One of them was about the health benefits of cinnamon, and the other one was different types of eating disorders. And I came across a new disorder that I had never heard of. It is called ARFID, avoidant/restrictive food intake disorder, which is pretty much a fancy word of saying picky eating, but it's more complex than that. But this is where I'm going to insert, hey, subscribe to me so that I can quickly monetize this channel so that I can fix my laptop, because I have all my old essays on there and all my old scripts that I wanted to share, but I guess I overthought it and I didn't share, and now my laptop's broken. But I would really like to share it with y'all, so please follow, please share, please comment, please like, so that we can grow and grow and grow, so that I can soon share all the different things that I've been keeping to myself. This is actually one of my old scripts as well. It's not just picky eating though, right? But one of the unique things that makes ARFID different from other eating disorders such as anemia or bulimia or binge eating is that it isn't really correlated with someone's self-image or how they see their body or how they see their worth. It actually has to do with their enjoyment of consuming food. So it is like picky eating, but it is more complex than that. And hopefully I explained it better in my essay, but it's been a while, so I just don't remember. And another thing that makes it just a tad bit different than other eating disorders do tend to lean towards women are dealing with it, but there are men with eating disorders. I don't want to invalidate that. But in the case of ARFID, that's what I'm going to call it now because I can't do the acronym too much. It does tend to be male children. And I do think it's because the way we socialize male children is that they can be a bit more difficult in comparison to female children. But either way, like anyone can have an eating disorder. It just different factors of how we get socialized can bring out different traits that everyone could have. Right. In my case, I'm starting to think that I might be a picky eater, or like I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that I am a picky eater. And some reasons that I think that I have never really registered that my behavior is picky eating is one. I was socialized as a girl, so I've always tried to be the least difficult that I can. And in fact, I am a people pleaser. I also grew up in I had an African childhood, like African, Kenyan American upbringing. And there was those rules where it's like, you can't move from the table until you finish eating. I'm a people pleaser. I don't want to be a burden. And then I have a habit of when I don't want to do something, I just want to get it done as quickly as possible so then I can be done. But the problem with also something that I'm thinking about the people pleasing is that I've made it a habit to eat food for other people, not for myself. And then in situations where I don't have to eat because no one is there to tell me to eat, I don't eat. And then I get in bad situations with my health. But yeah, another reason that I think, oh, this is doesn't have to do with picky eating, but yeah, these are already indicators of like, hey, maybe my relationship with food has already just always been messed up and it only got exacerbated the older and older I get because children can get away with a lot of unhealthy things and it catches up to you. And for me, I think it started catching up to me as soon as like I left my house or like left my parents' home. I still live with them. Like I moved, then I went back, and then I moved back, and then I came back. And I think we're on the set. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I've only moved away twice. Anyways, another thing that I think is part of the reason why I hate eating, and I think my eating disorder is like I'm a picky eater, but like it's not registering that I'm a picky eater, is that I hate to cook, specifically because it is in fact a chore. And I have a relationship where with cooking where it's like I put all this time and energy into cooking and then it doesn't come out the way that I want to eat. And I think this has to do with my relationship with dopamine, but we will be discussing dopamine just soon because I said brain chemistry. But yeah, like I hate cooking, even though I truly deep down respect the art of cooking because the theory is that cooking is the one thing that makes us separate to humans, separate to other animals, because it literally freed up space for us to, let me check just checking. It literally freed up space for us to grow and evolve in agriculture, in making societies, in other art forms for us to expand our brains because it released energy for us to consume energy faster and easier. So then we had all this excess energy to burn elsewhere, not just for our survival. So like I respect cooking, but deep down I know I hate cooking. Another sign that I definitely have been a picky eater is that I go on Whataburger strikes. I will go to Whataburger, I will order something, and I don't think it's that complicated. What is my order? I want a number one, no tomatoes, add ketchup. I'm okay with mustard. That's what I said. The last time I had Whataburger, I said that exact order, and somehow they put mayo on my burger, no mustard, and then they gave me ketchup. I said I was okay with mustard. I said add ketchup, no tomatoes. There were no tomatoes. But I didn't say add mayo. When did I say mayo? I didn't even bring up mayo. Somehow there's mayo on my burger. That stuff will like actually piss me off so bad that I'm just like, and I can't eat this. I can't eat from here for like the next 6 months. Because like, why would you do that? So I probably am a picky eater. And then another thing about me is that I will eat candy before I eat a meal because candy is consistent. They have set formulas for us to eat. Because it's a brand, brands have to be consistent in their product and they can't waver too much and it has to be like a consistent texture, taste, or whatever. So I love eating candy because I know every time I eat candy, I'm gonna get exactly what I wanted instead of like all that wavering and what do you call it? Room for human error. The way that going to Burger King or going to Burger King, Whataburger will open me up to. Anyways, I wanted to correct myself and say that my eating disorder is related to my weight because I did get on appetite pills and I did gain 10 pounds. But the thing about when I got on appetite pills is that I still had the mentality of eating is a chore. I would say cooking is meant to be a chore. There is something very off about the fact that I'm like, even consuming food is a chore because now in a situation where I don't even have to cook every meal for me to eat, I'm still not eating, right? In a situation where I'm on appetite pills, so now I can feel hunger. Oh, that's another thing. I don't feel hunger. I don't feel hunger. I can go a good long while without feeling hungry. And then I'll get a headache and then I'll feel the hunger and I'll go, oh, I was supposed to eat. But I was on appetite pills so then I could feel hungry. But my problem is that I just won't eat. Like I will just sit in, I guess, hunger because I'm just like, I just don't want to eat right now. Until I might like have like an emotional outburst and then I'll realize, oh, I'm hungry. In the situation where normally, because I don't feel hunger and because this is my normal, my emotions are relatively calm, even though I'm technically starving. But then when I'm on appetite pills to promote like healthy behavior, I'm still not eating. So then I have outbursts. Oops. But yeah, not to like do any body checking or whatever with the whole weight or whatever. I just like, I know that the problem isn't the way I see my body. I could gain weight. That's fine. I feel like actually the one thing that I don't like about gaining weight is the fact that I would have to buy new clothes. But besides that, gaining weight is fine. It's the act of actually having to sit down and finish a meal and it not feel taxing. Because also, and I really do think that you have to finish your food before you can leave the table has really done a number on me, because I also get full pretty quickly. So then when I like see the food on the plate and I'm like, I was supposed to eat all of this. I need more food in my body, but I already feel full. I feel like negative about the meal. Like I end it not perfect because the food is still there and I'm like full. I don't know. It's just like now it's like I now have to waffle down all this food just to make sure that it goes down and I don't waste my food. It's not good. And this also does connect to the Young Ho Cook on High, where it's just like, I think Gen Z's relationship with trying to get everything that's undesirable, trying to get everything done easy and quick, and it's almost like capitalism as well, is the problem. Whereas like, if you want the food to be good, you need to put the time and energy into the food. And then you get to sit and like eat the food and like sit there and enjoy and have a conversation and like have it be a communal situation for you to enjoy the food. Because I think that's another part of it. I eat alone. And maybe if I were to eat with people, it wouldn't be so a negative experience as it is, because it's like, oh, I'm talking to people, I'm interacting with people, blah, 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 blah. It's not just eating, right? But the thing is that you want cooking to go quickly, you want eating to go quickly, and that's sort of kind of not the point, because maybe the best things take a while to like happen. But I guess in like this capitalistic and efficient society, we want everything to be so fast and quick and easy. And maybe that's not supposed to be the case. And that does connect to fast food compared to like home cooked meals. And now we want home cooked meals to be as fast as fast food. And there's a disconnect there. I did finish my water. My throat is dry because I had to refilm this. But yeah, what's going on with my brain? I personally think I have a bad relationship with dopamine. And I would say all of us have a bad relationship with dopamine, because you're probably on that damn phone right now, right? Dopamine is the pleasure hormone that is designed to drive us to do tasks. So pretty much you do a hard task or you do work. And when you complete the work, your brain releases dopamine, and it's a pleasurable experience for you to go, I will continue to keep doing this job so that I can feel good about a situation. So then I will keep doing what needs to be done for me to feel good about the situation. And in my case, I feel like the whole concept of I put all this time and energy into cooking. I eat the food. It's not pleasurable. I'm not getting a dopamine hit. So now I don't want to even like cook. Okay, that's fine. A situation where it's like, well, someone cooked me something. Oh, but it's not exactly the way that I wanted it. So I'm a picky eater. Well, I'm still going to eat it because I'm a people pleaser, and I want to make sure that they know that I do truly appreciate that you made the food for me, but I'm not enjoying it, right? So I'm not getting a dopamine hit. So now I have a bad relationship with the concept of cooking so that I can get a meal. And even I have a bad relationship with even receiving a meal and it's not perfect. So it's like, I might as well not eat. It's not worth the hassle. I don't feel good enough about it. But I find myself in situations where I eat at the very last moment. It is a bit of procrastination. It might be like the issue with procrastination that I do think that does tend to follow a lot of people my age, but it's not procrastination. It's that I'm going to do this as soon as it's like I need to, like the last possible moment, not to get it done. Because I will say I will waffle my food down to get it done. No, just when it's like, oh, I'm due. Let's get it done now. So I think I have a bad relationship with dopamine. But back to the point where it's just like we all have a bad relationship with dopamine. I want to like show some examples of dopamine addiction that I think a lot of us are experiencing as well. Drugs is like the most common one, where it's just like it's a quick fix. You get the dopamine hit. I want to do it again. You go on the drug, you get the dopamine hit. It's not as much as the last time. So now you want to take more drugs, dopamine hit, dopamine addiction. Our phones give us dopamine hits. That's where we're on the phone all the time. And this is where I was like, well, I'm doing better than most people because it's like I'm not just consuming, I'm creating, but I consume more than I create. It's just the truth. And then I feel like a lot of people aren't realizing, like, yes, sex releases dopamine, but also like engaging with people, actually just hanging out with people can be a dopamine hit. And I think the fact that these dating apps have become so quick and convenient and efficient has made dating just less valuable. I'm not realizing I have a song called Coke, and this is all stuff that I've sort of kind of discussed because it's like, yeah, sex, drugs, our phones, eating. I know that sex and food are definitely primal desires that we have. Yeah. Then I also wanted to say, I think I might be undiagnosed for ADHD. We'll find out. And ADHD people do tend to be like pleasure seekers. So if food is not a pleasurable experience, but candy is a pleasurable experience. I find myself only eating candy because it's the only thing that when I eat, I like get dopamine hits. It's like, it's, and it actually, because I'm trying to counter this because like it's actually causing me health issues. And I actually didn't tell you the actual experiences that have given me health issues. When I first moved away from my parents and I was like pretty much tasked with taking care of myself for myself, I would go days without eating, not because I don't love myself, not because I don't want to take care of myself, but because it's just like, it's literally in the back of my mind. It's like not worth all the hassle. So if I can get away with not eating, I'm not going to eat. The thing is that I didn't get away with it. I came back, winter break, I was severely anemic and I had to get an IV drip. That's why I'm calling it an eating disorder, because it's like, yes, it's not correlated to my self-worth or whatever, but sort of kind of like if I loved myself more, it'd be like, well, I'm just going to always make sure to force myself to eat. But like, nah, it's not really a self-worth thing. It's just like, it's just not, it's a hassle. Why bother with a hassle? But now like, yes, you have to bother with the hassle. Yeah. But anyways, I spend hours. Yeah. Also, apparently ADHD people, when they get hyper focused on something that they want to do, they will like close off everything. And that's the thing. I think when ADHD people like hyper focus on something, the task that they're doing, they know it's going to give them a dopamine hit. And I think there have been situations where it's like, I'm writing right now or I'm doing something, I enter flow state. And it's like eating right now would just interrupt how good I feel about actually getting a task done. So no, I'm not hungry. I'm telling you, even to even stop to take a sip of water is like it would just break the zen that I'm in right now. So no, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to like hyper focus on this thing, and if I lose my hunger, that's fine, cuz I'm going to come out of it and go, "Oh, okay, it's time to eat." But yeah, eating has become a chore, and it shouldn't be a chore, but I guess that's just like the relationship that I have with food right now. And I just need to figure out a way to hijack my mind into going, the work that I did released enough dopamine for me to be willing to do it again. We're going to have to figure out that. And actually, I didn't want to bring up that this almost feels like the same way like housewives feel about sex, where it's just like, it's one of my obligations to sleep with my husband, but I don't actually get off from sleeping with my husband. But it's like something I'm doing, which connects to the whole people pleasing. And this is why I'm a bit, I don't know. I feel like this is a lesson that the universe is trying to teach me right now, because I think they knew if I don't fix my relationship with my food, it will be reflected in other instances of dopamine. Because I will even say I am a procrastinator. I don't think my relationship with food, what I'm doing with food, is procrastination, but they do mirror each other very well, where it's like you should want to finish your schoolwork not like last minute before the due date, right? Because you get the rush. I said like ADHD people, like they are pleasure seekers, they need the rush, but like be able to finish it within the time frame, get the dopamine hit enough for you to not hurt yourself in the future where you're rushing and you're giving yourself anxiety or whatever. So I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm just like, it's an eating disorder and I like need to take this seriously. Like right now, I need to resolve this right now, because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm married to someone. It's like, well, I don't actually really enjoy sleeping with you. Like that's not the point of sex. But then also, I would have to say fast food and prostitution are like the same concept where it's just like fast, easy, convenient. And it's okay to eat fast food. And I would even say like having a quick fix or like having a quick hit, like sleeping with someone just for the hell of it because you have a body. It's okay to do that, but it can't be the only sexual experience that you let yourself have. Like you should have a range of intimacies that aren't just like, oh, I only do like, casual hookups. You're probably hurting yourself just a bit. Just a bit. Like the concept of like you don't actually like it's just sex. It's not actually real intimacy. You're probably hurting yourself. And this is why I'm saying like we're all dopamine addicts. We're all dopamine addicts. And like if you like actually sat down and like thought to yourself, maybe if I were to reevaluate my relationship with this aspect of myself with the whole dopamine hits, maybe I would realize if I were to like actually sit down and put the energy and effort into making this even bigger and grander, I would get off, like in this situation sex, but like I would enjoy the food better. I would enjoy my phone better because like I'm filming this for the second time because I want this to be a good video. And if it does well, I'm going to get a dopamine hit. But the thing about my videos right now, I'm not saying that, well, I feel like I'm in my flop era, but I don't have a flop name. So it sort of hurts. Like, I feel like it'd be funny, like, haha, motivation if I had a flop name and I don't have one right now. But yeah, like, it's just a relationship with dopamine. I think that's just like the real issue at hand. Okay. I'm now going to talk about astrology just a bit, and I want to do my disclaimer, but this is my old disclaimer. This is an old script. I believe in astrology, but you don't have to enjoy this segment. Religion is how people have absorbed patterns in our reality to create symbols and motifs to better understand us, the collective. So in this case, I think of the planet Venus, which is the planet of sex, the planet of beauty, the planet of money, monetary gain or whatever. Specifically because money translates to food. Back in the days, fat people did tend to be rich, or rich people tended to be fat. And I personally love the depictions. Did you hear that fall? I love the depictions of Aphrodite being a bigger, heavier set woman. Yeah. But this also sort of connects to the Venus-Mars axis because in a lot of ways, consumption of food is a primal desire. Sex is a primal desire. And I've been talking about this Mars and Venus axis recently in my Everything is Romantic. I have a read along here on YouTube, and then I have a Substack with the actual publishing of it. I do feel like Mars is connected to the concept of dopamine, the feel good hormone that leads you to do action, to do stuff so that you can feel good. And Mars does have a connection to sexuality to some extent as well. Oh, I said the feel good hormone is very Venus, but then also the hormone that drives you to act is Mars. Yeah, it's like a pendulum. It's like a back and forth. There's an axis there and they're connected. In this case, though, in my Everything is Romantic, I was talking about the axis specifically of Aries and Libra. But in this case, I do think this is more closely connected to the axis of Taurus and Scorpio because Taurus rules the house of self-worth or like worth, right? And I did say Venus is money. So like to care about yourself, to find yourself worthy, to actually care about yourself. I said that already, but like self-worth, like that is one of the main reasons some people get like an eating disorder. They do not value themselves. They might do something and then they'll go, well, I guess I'm not going to eat today because it's like their punishment. But in no way should you withhold food from yourself, regardless of what you did that day. Just checking one more time. I do think it's there, but we're going to ignore it. So Taurus Taurus rules the house of worth, self-worth, but like anything worth, like what you hold as worthy or with value. And then Scorpio rules the house of death, but I've also heard the interpretation of intimacy. And that does make sense because I have been talking about like the whole sex thing. And like food and intimacy are primal desires because I would say under intimacy is where sex would resign. Scorpio does sort of have a lot of sex connections that I have. I don't think I ever published it, but I do have it somewhere. It's either on my phone or on my old laptop. But yeah, they are connected. Like Venus and Mars are in fact married, by the way. And actually, I actually do have more. I could talk about this for hours, but like I want to keep going. So actually, my Venus and my Mars are both in fall. My Venus is in Virgo, which is a bad placement, and my Mars is in Cancer, and that's also another bad placement. So in a lot of ways, it's like my relationship with food was always just going to be a bit off. And I think specifically with Virgo being a very analytical and practical and very like almost a perfectionist placement, I'm not surprised that I am a picky eater, especially since my mom has the same placement as well. And she is a picky eater. And I think part of the reason why I was like, I don't want to be a picky eater is because I don't want to be like my mom. Yeah. But to talk about the whole picky eater thing, Virgo, in a lot of ways, when I think about Virgo, I think of Goldilocks because she was like, it's too soft, it's too hard, it's just right. Or it's too hot, it's too cold, it's just right. And I feel like there was always a third, but I don't remember it right now. But Goldilocks, gold. Gold has connections to Leo, but I also would like to argue that gold has a connection to Virgo because Virgo is allegedly Leo's mother, specifically because of the mother child connection or like Madonna and child connection. Virgo is gonna be the Madonna, which I had a script somewhere about how, like, yes, between Madonna and whore, Madonna is more like valued in the patriarchy and loved in the patriarchy, but to be a woman in the patriarchy is still negative. And I would like to list all the different aspects of why Madonna is still suffering under the patriarchy, regardless if she's the favored, regardless if she's the golden child. I'm telling you, they all connect like that. Specifically, I want to talk about Mary, Mother Mary, Virgin Mary, and Jesus Christ. There are a lot of lion motifs with Jesus Christ that I feel like people are just like, oh, because of Narnia. And I'm like, no, there's actually more. And I will talk about it later, but there's actually more. But Virgo being the Madonna, I do feel like is very golden. And especially since a lot of pictures or depictions of Mary, her colors are blue, white, and gold, not yellow, gold. And even the Guadalupe pendants that I've seen, often they're in gold. So Virgo and gold connections, I see it a lot, especially with Goldilocks being a very picky person. Yeah. Ooh, and I also wanted to say gold star lesbians being like a version, being virgins. Yeah, Virgo is the virgin. Back to Taurus and value. Does people pleasing show that I value myself or my wants? No. And I do think, as much as it's like I don't want to be my mom because she complains a lot, low key she does. There's a reason why she's like she has to be authentic to herself. She needs to make people aware that I didn't like this because of these specific reasons, and I am literally entrusting you to be able to fulfill my needs because I'm attempting to fulfill your needs as well. And it should be reciprocal like that. So though it can come off as like all you can do is complain, and like, yes, it's annoying. If she were to do it the other way, like the way I've been doing it, she could find herself in a situation where it's like, I'm just not going to try anymore. Like, I'm going to stop eating, which is not the answer. And I have to make it and it's like, I don't know. Let me read what I said. And this is something that I'm working on right now. It could really slip into like individualism. That is true. And I appreciate it in myself that I think about the collective above myself. But this is at my detriment if something is like eating becomes a challenge. That is true. This is why I'm like, this is a balance, balancing the individualism and actually caring about the collective, balancing being able to voice my complaints, but still be appreciative of what I got. And I think that's the one that I'm really like, I don't know how to navigate because it's just like, I don't want to treat someone voicing their complaint as like a negative because sometimes they don't like something and they should be allowed to say that. And I should be allowed to tell people I didn't like this and it should be fine. And it's just a weird balancing act that I've been working on for a while. Like I wrote this, I think Virgo season actually. I wrote this in Virgo season because the Virgo motifs were showing up and I was like, hey, like this is showing up in my life. This is my placement in Virgo. And it's been affecting me in these ways. And I've been working through it all fall pretty much. And I think I've gotten better. Not eating. Eating hasn't gotten better, but then I think, yeah, I think it was Scorpio season. I got a cold. It was a cold and it took me out for a week. Like it gave me COVID symptoms. And that's when I was like, oh, my health is not good. So though I'm still not really like gung ho excited to eat, I have decided to take more my multivitamins. I don't like taking pills either. So right now, currently, I am taking multivitamins at the very least because it's like, okay, you just have to swallow this down once instead of having to eat. But like, I am trying to hijack my mind into eating because I'm almost hesitant to call it an eating disorder, but like, what else would you call it? I don't eat in a proper way and it's causing me health issues. And yes, I could gain weight. That's not really the problem. The problem is that to actually sit down and eat a meal is so inconvenient. And maybe, I feel like I didn't really make it like clear. The reason why I titled this Young Hoes Cook on High is because it seems like currently in this era that we're in, everyone wants everything to be fast and convenient and to like get something easy without like putting in the work. Because if you were to put in the work and then receive it, you would get better dopamine hits. But everyone wants to get the same dopamine hits at a lesser cost. And because of that, technically the lesser cost is equaling less dopamine hits. So then it's just causing this weird, I don't even think it's a cycle. It's like flat. It's like something is just like nothing is moving, but something is moving and we're just like all suppressed and it's iffy. But yeah, that's my eating disorder. Oops. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you subscribe. I hope that you share. I hope that you comment. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. Thank you.